Welcome back, Hive Mind. This is Shalazar with Hive Mind Gaming coming at you with another Summoner's Glory video. Today we're going to take a look at Phantoms. Now, we're going to take a look at the 4 to 5 different ways that you can just make them better. So, the first thing we're going to take a look at, let's pull up a Phantom. Let's see. Let's choose Poseidon here. Alright, so if we pull up Poseidon, we're going to have several things that we can do with this champion. So let's just go down the line. So the first thing we're going to do is come in here and we're going to do his runes. So basically at any point you can farm for runes, you can buy them in the black market, you can get them through the trove, you can get them through special boxes that you get through warrants. There's lots of different ways to get runes. So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to click on it. Now each location is going to have a specific stat that you can work on. For instance, we'll just start right up here. If you pull up a rune, so let's just go over what a rune is real quick. So you're going to have a base stat, and depending on the location that it fills, the base stat will be specific to that location. So for this location up here at the top, you're going to have either base HP, which is this right here, just a flat addition to the HP of your Phantom, or you're going to have HP percentage. So something like this, where it says HP plus 1%. So that's going to be a plus 1%. Now, when it comes to beginning and probably even mid game, it doesn't matter. Either one is going to be fine for your champion. Once you get into late game and percentages actually matter because the stat is really high at that point because of all the runes you have, you want percentage. The flat stats are going to be useless to you. You'll get way more out of the percentages than you will the flat stat. So beyond popular belief, in beginning games, flat stats are okay. Just know that you're going to want to switch those runes out at a later time. So don't spend a lot of resources leveling those flat stat runes up. Okay. For this one, you're going to have you're going to have 4 options in this location. You're going to have physical attack, flat stat, physical attack percentage, magic attack, flat stat, and magic attack percentage. So that's going to be your base stat in this location. Base stat in this location is going to be speed, is always going to be speed. That's your only choice. And speed is king in games like this, so make sure that you try to get a fairly high stat in that. In this location, you're going to have 2 options. You're going to have effect resistance. This is going to be your ability to resist effects that your enemy puts on you, like stuns and freezes. And then effect accuracy, which is going to be your Phantom's ability to use those abilities on your enemy. All right, and then your next one is going to be crit damage percent or crit rate percent. So your ability to land a crit or the ability to do more damage once a crit happens. And then last but not least is going to be your defense, which is going to be one of 4. It's either going to be physical defense flat stat, a physical defense percentage, a magic defense flat stat, or a magic defense percentage. So that's going to be all of your basic stats and where they lie in that circle. The next is going to be your extra stats. Your extra stats are going to be where you're going to each item or rune is going to be different. Now, as you could tell, a lot of these have different color stats on them. And the reason is because just like the rarity of your runes, which is white for common, uncommon green, rare blue, etc., your abilities also have rarities. So as you can see, this one's gold and this one's green. That means this is a very common rarity, or uncommon, I should say. And this one is a legendary ability. So you're going to, when you get into higher in-game level, you're going to be wanting to look for runes that have legendary abilities on there to maximize your extra stats and your extras, to maximize your numbers. You're wanting legendary abilities. Now, the next part of a rune is the actual type of rune itself and what benefits it gives you. So when it comes to your runes, there are 6 locations that you can place runes. There is a 2-piece bonus if you have 2 pieces of a rune, and then there's a 4-piece bonus if you have 4 pieces of that rune. So if, for instance, the self-healing rune, you have if you have 2 pieces on your phantom, you get max HP 15%. If you have 4-piece set of the self-healing, then you get the 15%, but you also get, at the end of your own turn, restores health by 10% of your maximum. So where I like that compared to Raid Shadow Legends, every single piece of gear has a 2-piece value and a 4-piece value. So you can still get benefit out of 2 pieces of that gear, but if you want to put all 4 on there, then it gets even better. So this piece right here, the Harvest set, is going to be the ones you're going to want the most, mainly because of its set bonus, where increases crit rate by 12% for 2-piece, but the 4-piece is where it really comes in, which is increases speed by 10%. So fairly strong set there for the Harvest. Now at the very bottom it says +3, +6, and +9 boosts give bonus stats. So basically at the once you boost it up to level 3. So let's see, where was it? Here. So once it got boosted to level 3, then it increased stats up here. So that's what that means. All right, so that's the runes and how they work. So your next thing that you can do, which is going right down the line, is evolution. So when you're evolving your champion, when you're first starting out, you're going to have a ton of essence. Essence is, I mean, you're just going to think that, oh my god, I have so much, I'll never go through it. Well, once you start evolving your champions, and this is the only thing you're going to use your essence for, you'll burn through it fast. I mean, really fast. And then you've got these little guys here, these little Shopkins. Sorry, I've got a daughter, so she loves Shopkins, and that's what these little things remind me of. So you've got the substances here, and you get those by going over here to your battle assistant and going into the elemental lord. So not the abodes, but the elemental lord. And you just go through here and you run these guys. That's going to give you your materials to evolve your phantoms. So let's go back into our phantoms. So when you're evolving your phantoms, you're going to go over here to your question mark, and it's going to tell you what you're going to need to go up each rank. To make an evolution 1 phantom, you're going to need 2 level 0 evolution phantoms, and you're going to feed it to your phantom. And once you do that, it's going to give you a level 1. All right, so we're going to go into Secret Dancer. We're just going to take the A quality because we're going to make her food, basically. All right, so when you go into here, you're going to see that there's 0 to 2. So we click on that, and it brings up the A's first, because the game knows that you're gonna want to feed the A's first. But I mean, you can scroll all the way down, and it will be A's and S's that you can use. So we're going to click on 2, and it evolves them, and it's going to give us extra stats. So this is what would happen no matter what champion it is. So if you're wanting to evolve one of your SS's, this is what's going to happen. It's going to increase their stat line. So once you do that, and we go back up to the top and we click on our Poseidon again. So he's already evolutionary 1. So at this point, now we can click on your question mark here, your silhouette of phantoms with a question mark, and then it shows you all your level 1. Now, if you notice, all of these are water champs. And the reason is because if we go back in here, it says any quality. So that means any S, or A. That's the quality. And then same elements. So when you're evolving them to level 1 or level 2, you have to have whatever element that champion is. So we're working with Poseidon. So we're only going to be able to use water elements for level 1 and level 2. Now once he gets evolved to level 2 and we go to level 3, then you can use any level 2 elements to evolve him to level 3. And then as you can see, it keeps going, and it's not until you get to 7 and 8 that you have to use the same element, and it's got to be SS quality, sorry. So as you can see, it's going to get very expensive once you start getting higher level. Very expensive. So that's another way to increase your phantom's abilities / stats, is by increasing or evolving them. So the next thing that you can do to increase your stats, your stat line, is through your Amity. One of the things that's kind of neat is every phantom has a storyline, and you can come into history, and it will tell you a little snippet, a little snippet of each I guess beginning of each story, and it shows you right here the Amity required to read the rest of that story. So once you get your first heart filled, then it opens this whole area up to tell you that part of the story, and so on and so forth. So when we go through here, 2 ways to increase your Amity for each champion. 1, you have the chat. So you'll have 10 out of 10 every single day, and it resets every single day. So basically you go in here and it pops it up and it says, what do you want to talk about? And you can and it gives you 3 choices every time, and they're going to be different every time. So let's talk about the future, and each champion is going to have its own answer to the question. And then once you do that, then it gives you a chance to chat again. So let's see, discussed hope and dreams, favorite weather. Well, he's the god of water. Let's talk about the weather. And if you notice, it pops up on the screen how much Amity you get. So you can do this 10 times per day, and that's 10 times for your account. So it's not per phantom. So you've got to decide which phantom you want to concentrate on and ask the questions to each day. You only get 10 for your whole account. So you just basically keep doing this. If you don't want to read the answers, you can just keep doing it, and it gives, every time you ask them a question, it gives you 5. So another way that you can actually level them up is through gifts. Now, as you can see, I've already got some in here because when you do your warrants, you get a little heart-shaped box. It looks like a candy box. Well, when you pop that open, it has 2 random gifts in it. So every time you give a gift, it increases their amity. So that was 15 to do that one, and 35 to do that one. Each gift is going to be different for each phantom. So each phantom is going to like their own specific thing. Now, with that being said, if you do have a phantom that you really like, I would suggest trying one of each, and then whichever one gives you the most out of that, only gift them that one thing. Because, I mean, that's where you're going to get your most. Like, that's 45 right there. So this is probably going to be the one thing that he's gonna love. You can also use gems to purchase items too. So for instance, I'll just buy that just to show how it's done, and then it increases it just like that. Now, once you actually get your first Amity heart filled, so it takes 300 for the first one, so you're going to get a plus 10% to all of these stats. So basically, let's go ahead and fill this one up so that we can see. Oh no, look at that. The sword is going to be the one that fills it up the most, I guess. All right, so that fills it up, and this opens up or unlocks our records 1. So if we go to history, let's close that out. So if we go to history, now it gives us the whole story here on this one. So that's basically how that works. So now that this is highlighted, we get 10%. So now if we do a total of 3, so we fill up 2 more boxes, we'll get 30% to these stats for this phantom. And then it would open up this story. So, I mean, a lot of people may not care about this. And to be honest, I don't really care. I mean, on my favorite phantoms, I might read their story just for fluff. But what I love that that's an option. Because I know that there's a lot of people that like that sort of thing. So for those people to really enjoy their favorite phantoms, I think is awesome. I think it's absolutely cool that that's a part of the game. So, but I really like it. I think that's interesting how they did that. And then, so the next thing that you can do to increase your phantoms is upgrading. And this is going to be the next 2 things, because it also goes along with the skills. So each phantom's going to have your 4 skills, obviously. I mean, you should probably already know that. The thing is you're going to have levels to your skills. So like this one has 4 levels. We've already increased it twice, so it's now level 3. This one has 3, and this one doesn't have any at all, because it just works the way it works. It doesn't have any increases. And then of course his attack, his A1 attack 1, has 4 levels as well. So basically, if I have the ability, if I have another SS of him, I just go into upgrade, and I click on the extra of him, which is right here. We want to make sure that we're feeding the non-leveled one. So right here shows what evolution they are. So if you see this right next to their level on their thumbnail, then that shows what evolution they are. So as you can see, these are all evolved, but are level 1. That means I'm going to use them as food at some point. because I'm not anything that I'm keeping. I increase their level just a little bit to show that I want to keep them. Plus, on top of that, I lock them. So, all right. So we're gonna do this. If you notice, it says it's 100% chance on random skill, one random skill. So basically, it's 100% chance that he will get one level in one of his skills. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade. Pack of upgrade materials contains a rare phantom. Continue upgrading. I have no clue why it says that. None whatsoever. If you know, please let me know in the comments, because I have no clue. All right, so basically it shows again that it upgraded his stat line, and that's just because of the level increase is the only reason that this is happening. The main thing that we want to take a look at is the fact that it upgraded one of his skills. Now this is fully maxed out. So his passive, when being attacked, there is a 60% chance of counterattacking and dealing damage equal to 120% of physical damage. Now there's a 90% chance that he will counterattack. So pretty good, pretty good. All right. So then another way to upgrade his skills is, and you can get a skill phantom, which I don't have any, but there is a skill phantom you can buy. So every time you open an epic summoning book, you get 6 points toward buying a crystal. Every time you open a gold summoning book, you get 1 per gold book. So when I open, let's say this one, it doesn't matter what I summon, I'll get 1 point to my crystal shard. Now, once you get 300 on your 300th shard, you'll, instead of summoning a champion, it will actually be a crystal shard. And then you can go to the crystal shop. As you can see, it's in the store under phantoms. This is normally what you would see, and you just go to this tab up here where it says crystal, and then you buy a skill phantom. And the skill phantom will automatically 100%, whoever you feed it to will gain 1 skill. Plus, it's going to level them a little bit too. From what I'm to understand, this is the only way to get King Arthur as well, and maybe even Merlin, because I don't think I've ever pulled Merlin out of a pack. I only purchased him from here. So, yeah, so I don't know. I think that might be the only way. So that's basically how you would increase their skills. Those two, there's one more way to increase skills. If you go to 1 level lower than your whatever champion you're trying to raise the skill on. So if it's an SS champion, it needs to be the S champions. And if it's an S champion, you'll want to be A champions. Then there's a 10% chance to increase that champion skill. So, for instance, it shows right here on the thumbnail, 10% chance for 1 random skill to be +1. Now, here's the thing that I did find out. Let's say I was trying to raise his skills and I have 2 SS champions for Poseidon, and I feed them both to him. It will increase 2 of his skills by level 1. So you don't lose one of them. That's what I was afraid of. I was afraid that it was only going to limit or only level 1 skill, read them both. So it does do them both. Just like this, each one is going to be a 10% chance. So it does not add them together and make this a 50% chance to summon or to level his skill. Because I did do a group of these before and got 2 skill increases. So it is each individual one is only 10%. So we'll increase that, and nope, we didn't get any skill increase. All right. So that is the 3 ways to level up their skills. Next is just going to be leveling them up. Now, when it comes to leveling up, each one is going to tell you up here in the top what it takes to get to their next level. So their numbers, and then it also tells you their max level. Their max level increases every time you go up in evolution. So he is an evolution 1 champion, phantom. So he is max level 60. And to increase his XP, you can do it multiple ways. 1, you can go out and just fight with them. Or 2, you can feed other champs to them, which we just saw, right? We just seen him go up levels just by feeding those champions to him. So those are the ways to level him up. Making your phantoms better usually consists of everything that I just showed you. There is one other way that is a little, I guess, background noise. And that has to do with your character itself. So basically, it's going to be how you build your character, because your character is going to give 5% of your base character stats are inherited by all phantoms. So keep that in mind as you're putting equipment on your character. 5% of whatever your stats you're using or stats that you're equipping your character with, 5% of that's going straight to your phantoms. So if you are using all magic attack phantoms, then you're probably going to want to use magic attack equipment, so that's the stat that you're stacking on your basic champion. So that kind of thing. So that's pretty much it about phantoms. If there's anything else that you guys think I missed, let me know in the comments. Or if there's anything else you want to see, let me know in the comments. But other than that, guys, if you like what you've seen and you want to see more, hit the like button and join the Hive by hitting the subscribe button. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.